Friends, welcomes to Viren's Academy. I am Pramila. In the last class, I have completed before period, that is romantic period. Today, now we will discuss about the mid and the late 19th century. The social background, the struggle between workers and capitalists, the cherished movement, the Victorian morality. Okay, you will find here the struggle between the workers and the capitalists, and the cherished movement, that is the Victorian morality. And you will find here the literature, there is a development of higher achievement of fictions. Okay, with Dickens as its representative. Understood? Then the critical realism, that is sticking to the faithful representation of 18th century realistic novel. Critical realistic carried their duty forward to the criticism and the society and the defense of mass. They were all concerned about the fate of the common people. Okay, they were all concerned about the fate of common people. Their faithful picture of people's life and bitter and strong criticism of society had done much in awakening the public consciousness to the social problem and an actual improvement of society. So, you will find here the awakening of public consciousness about the social problems and the actual improvement of the society. That is the critical realism. We will find here the important writers, that is the Charles Dickens, the Oliver Twist, about the dehumanizing workhouse system and the dark criminal underworld life. Okay, here in the Oliver Twist you will find about the dehumanizing workhouse system ଆଉ କ'ଣ ଆମର ଡାର୍କ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ ଆଉ ଅଣ୍ଡରୱର୍ଲ୍ଡ ଲାଇଫକୁ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍ସଙ୍କର ଅଲିଭର ଟ୍ୱିଷ୍ଟକୁ ପଢ଼ିଲେ। ସେମିତି ଡେଭିଡ୍ କପରଫିଲ୍ଡ କନସର୍ନ ଏବାଉଟ୍ ଦ ଡିବେଟର୍ସ ପ୍ରିଜନ୍, ଯେମିତିକି ତାଙ୍କର ଏ ଟେଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଟୁ ସିଟିଜ୍ ଏବାଉଟ୍ ଫ୍ରାଞ୍ଚ ରିଭଲ୍ୟୁସନ୍ସ ଏଜ୍ ଏ ମାଷ୍ଟର ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଟେଲର chapters portrayals is the most distinguished feature of his works. Understood? So it is बहुत important. Please go through the summary and the important characters. Normally from the Charles Dickens you will find the important characters. Then Macbeth Thackeray, that is Vanity Fair subtitled a novel without hero. Hela question ase which novel is subtitled a novel without hero. Understood? Descriptions of the evil of the upper society. You will find here the evils of the upper society. Then Emily Bronte, the Charlotte Bronte and the Jane Eyre. Here you will find the Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre, the struggle of basic rights and the equality. Emily Bronte and her Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights होची Emily Bronte करो जोटा कि बहुत important writings. Okay, the passion you will find here the passionate love, and the George Eliot's and her Mill on the Flush. George Eliot's writing the Mill on the Flush, and the poets Tennyson and Browning. Tennyson is the most representative, if not the greatest, Victorian poet. That is in memoriam, the idol of king. Browning is the most original poet of his time. Okay, his name is often associated with the term dramatic monologue. Understood? Tennyson and Browning को नाम most of the time कोटी पाइबा जेतु सी associated थिले dramatic monologue रे. Dramatic monologue कोनो in the dramatic movement of or crisis, the characters are made to talk about their life and about their mind and heart. In listening to those one-side talks, readers can form their own opinion and judgment about the speaker personality and about what has really happened. बुझिपारल द स्पीकर पर्सनालिटी बा रियली जोटा है तापरे कौन आमर ड्रामाटिक ओपिनियन बा जजमेंट दिया होची. अंडरस्टूड? द लिटरेरी ट्रेंड्स एट द एंड ऑफ 19th century कौन थिला? नेचुरलिज्म, न्यू रोमांटिसिज्म, एस्थेटिज्म. ओके जोटा कि देन इंपोर्टेंट राइटर्स थे थॉमस हार्डी नेचुरलिज्म कौन लिटरेचर मस्ट बी ट्रू टू लाइफ and exactly reproduce real life, including all the details without any selection. Naturalists usually write about the evils of the poor and oppressed or the slum life. Okay, so naturalists कौन करती? They write about the lives of poor, oppressed and slum life ऊपर ही लिखी जाती. Then new romanticism कौन? That is dissatisfied with the drab and ugly social reality and yet trying to avoid the positive solution of the acute social contradiction. The writer laid emphasis on the invention of existing adventure and fascinating story. They laid the novel back to storytelling and romantic. Robert Stevenson was a representative with the Treasure Island and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay. Then aestheticism kono the theory of art and art for art's sake. Okay, aestheticism hochi the theory of art for art's sake. Art should serve no religious, moral or social end, nor any end except itself. Oscar Wilde and Walter Peter are very much important. Then Thomas Hardy, you will find the Wessex novels. Thomas Hardy koro writings re ame paiba Wessex novels. That is novel about the character and environment, the description of vicissitudes of people who lives in an agricultural settings menaced by the force of invaded capitalism. The return of native and बहुत important writings la tanga return of native, the mayor of Casterbridge, the tests of the Durwell, Jude the Obscure. Hardy is often regarded as the transitional writer. Eta mone rakhibo, Hardy is regarded as the transitional writer. There is an apparent nostalgic touch in his description of simple and beautiful primitive and rural life. Understood? So I made dekhiba the beautiful, simple and primitive rural life. Understood? Next, the modern period, the 20th century. We will see the social background, that is the gap between the rich and the poor, the post-war economic dislocation and the spiritual disillusion, the rise of all kind of philosophical ideas, Karl Marx scientific socialism, then Darwin's theory of evolution, then Sophor and the next gen pessimism. Then we will find the literature here. The modernism rise out of skepticism and the disillusion of capitalism. Excuse me. Takes the irrational philosophy and the theory of psychoanalysis as its theoretical base. Okay, and you will find here the realistic novel in 20th century. That is the continuation of the Victorian tradition. The outstanding figures are John Galsworthy, H.G. Wells and Arnold Bennett. With the strong swing of leftism in 1930s, novelists begin to turn their attentions to the urgent social problems. In the mid-1950s and the early 1960s, there appeared the angry young men launching a bitter protest against the outmodern social and political values in their society. That is, Kingsley Amis is the most important. Okay, so here the angry young man is the Kingsley Amis, who is very much important. In modernism in fiction, the first 3 decades of this centuries were golden years of the modernistic novels. The theory of the Freudian and the Jungian psychoanalysis plays an important role. D.H. Lawrence traced the psychological activities in his work, that is Sons and the Lover. Okay, Sons and the Lover tige dekhi dabo. Understood? Woman in Love, Lady Chatterley's Lover's Rainbow. Okay, So the stream of consciousness novel I've already described in one videos, that is what is stream of consciousness novel, and again I will upload that one. Please go through that one. That is James Joyce and Virginia Woolf. In drama, you will find in the 20th century, that is George Bernard Shaw is considered to be the best known English dramatist since Shakespeare. Understood? So, here the George Bernard Shaw is also considered as the best English dramatist. His plays are inspired by social criticism. John's Galsworthy carried on his tradition of social criticism. The Irish dramatist movement. Okay. So, in modernism in drama, we will find the working class drama and the theatre of absurd. Okay, theatre of absurd ame paiba. John Osborne and the angry young man, that is Samuel Beckett and Waiting for Godot. And sometime you will get the question from Waiting for Godot. Okay. So, modernism in poetry, a revolution against the conventional ideas and the forms of Victorian poetry. The poem of Iliad and its the rise of modern poetry. So, this is all about the short history of English literature, where I have shortly or very briefly described about all the important writers, all the important periods, the social backgrounds, the important writings, which is very much important. Please go through all the writings which here I have highlighted here. Okay, I have told many times about the writings. Please visit that one. Understood? I hope you understood this all the concept very easily, very clearly. If you have any kind of doubt regarding this one, you can message me or call me also. Thank you for the class.